Hello and welcome to Solve by Completing the Square Station. What we're going to do, go ahead and grab one of those papers that are right now on the table, and then we're going to do one problem together, and then you're going to complete the rest of the worksheet as a group, helping one another to figure out where is your problem in this particular method to solve. So I have the problem x squared minus 2x plus 25 equals 0. Very first thing you want to do in every single completing the square problem, you want to make sure, is this in front of the x squared? Is it a 1? Or basically, is there nothing there? If there is something there, you need to divide away that number. Get rid of it. You can't have it otherwise. But now I notice there's a 1, so we're good there. So what you're now going to do is you're going to take that 25 here and you're going to kick it to the other side. Get rid of it. Okay? So now I have x squared minus 2x plus blank. So you kicked the 25 over to the other side to make room for your blank. And if I'm putting a blank on one side, you gotta have the blank on the other side. Now, remember how to find blank. What you're going to do is you're going to take your b term, negative 2 in this case, and we're going to divide it by 2. And then we're going to square it. Basically, we're going to multiply by itself. So let's do the inside first. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is a positive 1. Right? Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So we're going to put that in both blanks. So now on this side, let's rewrite without blank here. X plus 1 equals negative 24, right? Negative 25 plus 1, that's negative 24. So now what you're going to do, this side over here is factorable. Okay? So we're going to use our AC method. So 1 times 1 is 1. Now, numbers that multiply to give you 1, but add together to give you negative 2. On these completing the square problems, you're always going to want to use the ones that have numbers that are the same. This number should always be a perfect square. Okay, so you're going to want to use, like if it would have been 36, you're going to want to use the 6 and 6 combo. Okay? So 1, I know I can use 1 and 1, but I need a negative 2. So I'm going to have to use negative 1 and negative 1, right? Because if I add these two together, I'll get a negative 2, what I'm looking for. So now I can rewrite this middle term. 1x squared minus 1x minus 1x plus 1 equals negative 24. Let's box this. One x squared minus 1x minus 1x positive 1. So 1x squared and negative 1, it looks like they have an x in common. I'm going to keep my x's positive, otherwise I find I have a lot of trouble. I try to keep the numbers when they get negative, okay? These guys have a GCF of x. These ones, it looks like they have a 1. And I'm going to pull out a negative 1 because I need to have that negative 1 here. Because negative 1 times x needs to give me negative 1x. Same thing here. Let's put in negative 1. I'm going to double check. Does negative 1 times negative 1 give me 1? Indeed it does. So now I can rewrite my two factors. X minus 1 equals a negative 24. Well, x minus 1 times x minus 1, notice it's duplicated. So technically, I'm just going to write it like this. X minus 1 squared equals a negative 24. So now this becomes a solve by square root problem. So first of all, let's make sure nothing on the outside, right? Just the squared. Do not FOIL that squared term. It is not x squared plus 1. It is not. What you're going to want to do is square root both sides, please. Okay? I'm going to run over here so I get a little bit more room. So now I have x minus 1 over here, plus or minus the square root of negative 24. 24. He has a perfect square, I bet. So let's simplify him down. How do you break down 24? A 4 and a 6, right? That's the biggest square root. 4, 6, and then I have a negative. So I know I got to break out the negative 1 out there too, right? So I have x minus 1 equals plus or minus, well, square root of 4, that's 2. And this is I, right? So I'm going to have 2i square root of 6. Now, I'm not solved for x yet, so let's add 1 to both sides. Left with just x. Well, this 1, it cannot be added to that 2 because this is multiplied over here. So he just needs to sit right there. So 1 plus or minus 2i square roots of 6. Now what I would like you to do is complete the rest of the problems on this sheet. When your group is 100% finished, go ahead and open the envelope and check to see did you get the right answers. If not, call me over. See you later, Sabers.